After entering the WNBA with sky-high expectations and surrounded by non-stop media buzz, Caitlin Clark somehow managed to outperform every standard set for her and reach heights that no player had touched so soon. She has completely rewritten the rookie record book, turned a chronically losing franchise into a playoff team, and made women's basketball trendy among people of all generations, all within the span of a couple of months. It's hard to find a comparable example in any sport of a young player having such an outsized impact, and many observers are quickly realizing they are witnessing greatness in action. That includes numerous basketball personalities, sports journalists, social media influencers, and even internet trolls who originally didn't buy into Caitlin's magic. There are few bigger names in basketball than Shaquille O'Neal. The Big Diesel has kept a high profile in the media after retirement as an integral part of the popular Inside the NBA show. He is a born entertainer and never shy about sharing his opinions on players. By his own admission, SHAQ became hooked on the women's game primarily because of Angel Reese and Caitlin Clark following their college battles closely. Of course, SHAQ attended Louisiana State University, just like Reese, so it was only logical for him to support a fellow LSU star in this budding rivalry. Ever since the two young stars met in the NCAA Finals in 2023, SHAQ has been very vocal about Angel being a special talent. In fact, he famously declared Reese to be the best basketball player ever to come out of LSU, above himself and Pistol Pete Maravich. That's high praise, especially coming from a guy with 4 NBA championship rings and an MVP award. Even Angel was surprised by his words. "SHAQ told me that I was the best player to come out of LSU. I mean, it puts a lot of pressure on me, and I feel like I haven't done anything," Reese said. While she did win an NCAA championship, something neither SHAQ nor Maravich managed at LSU, her talent and potential were undeniable. Thanks to the new NIL rules, she was able to sign a major shoe contract before her final college season. Unlike many top athletes, Reese didn't opt for Nike or Adidas. Instead, she followed in the footsteps of the gentle giant who once donned the LSU jersey before her. She signed with Reebok, a brand currently attempting to reclaim its former glory, with none other than SHAQ as its president of basketball operations. This deal garnered significant attention and established a public relationship between O'Neal and Reese, one that has continued ever since. SHAQ also became something of an unofficial advisor to Angel Reese, imparting wisdom about basketball professionalism and the challenges of being a young athlete. He never denied his connection with Reese, whom he held in high esteem long before she turned pro. "I was just telling her how to handle adversity, how to handle controversy," SHAQ explained. "With a person like her, you don't really want to come in and say, 'Do this, do that.' I was just giving her encouraging words, telling her to hang in there." It's unclear how close their relationship is now that Angel is in the WNBA, but SHAQ hasn't hidden his loyalty to her. To be fair, he has always maintained professionalism in his commentary and frequently praised the growth of women's basketball as a whole. Still, before this WNBA season even started, he publicly declared his support for Reese and could be counted among her staunchest supporters, with a vested financial interest in her success. SHAQ was often spotted at Chicago Sky games, cheering for his protégé and observing how much the women's game had advanced. Considering all this, it was a bit surprising to hear his latest remarks, where he finally admitted that Caitlin was the one to watch, not Angel. As always, SHAQ's words sounded completely sincere. He seemed resigned to the fact that his favorite player couldn't keep up with all of Caitlin's accomplishments. His change of heart became evident after the latest showdown between Reese and Clark resulted in a blowout victory for the Indiana Fever, possibly sealing the Rookie of the Year race and permanently shifting SHAQ's perspective. "She does everything right. I never spoke about her because Angel is my girl, but I can truthfully say Caitlin Clark is for real. I'm watching her play, and I'm trying to be upset, but she makes the right pass, makes the right play. Girls try to beat her up, and she doesn't really complain. She is a great one. Even early on, she's the real deal. Much respect to her and her family, and the way she grew up, and the way she plays. After nearly 2 decades in the NBA, playing alongside the likes of Penny Hardaway, Kobe Bryant, Dwayne Wade, and LeBron James, Shaq certainly knows what it means to play the right way. Despite his long-standing allegiance to LSU and Reebok, he can't deny that no woman is doing more amazing things at the moment than Caitlin Clark. The significance of this admission may be greater than it first appears and could signal a shift in how the media treats Clark. If Shaq can no longer promote Reese over Clark despite having a commercial relationship with her, it's questionable whether anyone else can. There is never any doubt that Caitlin Clark would bring additional attention to the WNBA. She made NCAA women's basketball the most popular sport in America, and it was widely expected that her army of fans would follow her into the pros. The only real question was how well Caitlin would adapt to her new circumstances and how long it would take for the mainstream media to acknowledge her supremacy. The Caitlin Clark effect was coming, but nobody knew it would be this impactful. Not only did her influence transfer to the pro league, but it amplified in the process. The Caitlin Clark effect is real, and it can be measured in both viewership and revenue. All of the top 12 most viewed WNBA games in 2024 featured the Indiana Fever, drawing between 1.2 and 2.3 million viewers across networks. For comparison, an average NBA game last season was seen by 1.56 million TV viewers. The WNBA All-Star Game attracted an astounding 3.4 million viewers, the most for any WNBA game since the league's inaugural season in 1997. Clark's presence also dramatically affected attendance, with the Fever leading the league by averaging nearly 17,000 fans per game, an enormous leap from the 4,000 they averaged last year. All of this translates into massive financial gains for the league, and the pie will only continue to grow as Caitlin's stardom solidifies. It's a safe bet that Shaquille O'Neal, in addition to being a basketball legend and a beloved TV personality, recognizes the business potential behind her. Shaq is a savvy businessman with a diverse portfolio of investments, always on the lookout for the next major deal. He understands the value of partnerships with established stars, and Caitlin Clark is proving to be the biggest star women's basketball has seen in years. This is not a good time to be a Caitlin Clark hater. She is playing at near MVP levels, has dragged a previously struggling franchise into the playoffs, and has made her team one of the biggest revenue generators in the league. Those who doubted whether her skills would translate to the pros or who favored Angel Reese over her are now silent, with some even backtracking their previous statements. Speaking out against Caitlin Clark now means denying reality and inviting backlash. Even the biggest voices in sports media are coming around, recognizing that Caitlin Clark has not only lived up to the hype, but has surpassed it. For her most loyal fans, who believed in her dominance before anyone else, this newfound recognition must feel like a victory. The mainstream media is finally acknowledging Caitlin's greatness, and those who supported her from the beginning are being vindicated. If Clark continues on her trajectory, she won't just be the face of the WNBA, she'll be its driving force. And if the Fever mount a deep playoff run, the sky's the limit. 6 months ago, many called Caitlin Clark's supporters delusional. Now, those same supporters are looking like the smartest people in the room. And this is just the beginning.